So my name is Cal and I'm building a startup completely from scratch. The idea? A dating app where you actually talk. That's about all I can reveal for now though. My goal is to document every single line of code written from start to finish, the successes and the struggles, as authentically as possible. I wish the people that built Tinder had a series like this, and my hope is that one day my app will become an actual competitor to Tinder. So thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Today I'm very excited to get started again because I feel like we were close to something yesterday. So yesterday what the video basically was about, or the last video, was pretty much all about me just trying to get the matchmaking to work. I thought it was going to be about something else, which is getting the profile picture, but it turns out that the matching thing obviously has to happen first, because we have to figure out whose picture are we going to show to the user. It turns out that the matching thing was more difficult, or took more time than I thought it was going to take. Right now we're adding calls. So looking at this now, I see that it seems like the ID of the actual call becomes the ID of the caller. And the strange thing is that it also says that they're active. Okay, so there's quite a lot that we need to handle in this. First of all, the ID probably shouldn't be just the ID of the caller. And then for the users, for some reason it says that this user is not available, which is false, like they are available. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but we're going to try to figure it out and basically just make it anytime someone is in a call, this should be set to false, and the current call ID should be set here, but the current call ID should have a unique ID. I think we could be running into an issue with the fact that so there's a caller and a receiver, like a caller and a called. So there's one person that is pursuing the other and one person that's passive, but in reality, they're both just being connected. I think there's a possibility that depending on which record updates first in the database, it could make it so that if I create a call here and then wait for this user to join, but when I'm in that call, it says that I'm not available, then this user will never find me as an available person to talk to. So I'm not really sure how to handle that. That's what we're going to try to tackle. Okay, so we're running into an error that is just there's nothing that makes any sense about this. So first of all, up here, we're updating the user to set the current call to be equal to null. We're setting it to be null here, specifically setting it to be null. And then I'm trying to set it again just to make sure it's actually null. For some reason here, we can't updated user.current call, because it's not a setter, it says, but the variable in the updated user has we can't even get that variable, but for some reason here we can print that variable. So updated user.current call, we can print here, and when we print that, we get the previous ID, as you can see here, for the previous call, which should be set to null. So what we need to do is somehow make sure that is null, which seems to be impossible to do. All right, I'm not sure why that doesn't work, but it doesn't work. And I have no idea why. And that's not even a main issue. That's just a tiny part of the issue. Because right now what I'm dealing with is the fact that we're running these functions on the client side, which shouldn't be done, I don't think. And it doesn't really make sense, because if two users log into the app at the same time, then the matchmaking algorithm will start. And even if there are only two users in total for the entire app, when they log on, this person will start looking for someone, the matchmaking algorithm will start, and this person will have a matchmaking algorithm that starts. And so this person might find this one, then this algorithm will start creating the call and all that stuff and setting that up, and this person will join that call. But then this person will be here with their matchmaking algorithm looking for someone, and they'll see that this person is available. So they'll create another call and they'll join that call. So there'll be actually two separate calls that they'll join. But the idea is that really what we want is probably the server to look for who's online and then find out, okay, this one's online, we'll pick that one, and then we'll pick that one, and then create all the stuff, and they will join the call. But right now, that's not what happens. This video is sponsored by Monday.com. When managing projects, whether it's coding a new app, launching a tech startup, or organizing my team's next big sprint, I know how frustrating it can be to juggle multiple tasks across multiple platforms. And that's why I'm excited to share with you Monday.com. It's not just an all-in-one platform for project management. It's a product that fits right into the way that I work. Monday.com integrates seamlessly with all the tools that I already use, like Gmail, Slack, Zoom, and Google Drive. For example, I love how easy it is to create or update tasks in Monday.com directly from Slack. And with built-in automations, I can set it to automatically notify my teammates when a new task is completed. There's no manual follow-up needed. On top of that, the customizable workflows and visual boards give me full control, making it easy to track progress, delegate, and stay organized all in one place so that I can focus on what really matters. And now with AI features built in, Monday.com can help me work smarter by spotting blockers and automating repetitive tasks. So if you're ready to take your productivity to the next level, you can try Monday.com completely for free. Just click the link in my bio. And thank you so much to Monday.com for sponsoring this video. Okay, so for some reason, if I change this, so is available, false to be false, then it actually updates it, so it says that it's false here, but the current call does not update. Okay, now it updates. So for some reason, null is not the way to update it. Okay, so after a lot of work and back and forth, we now have a server-side function that should be working. When we test it, when we basically send this test request here for this user to join the matchmaking thing, then we get the response now, which is queued. So the user has been queued for a match. Not really sure what that entails, but essentially there's going to be a queue of users because we need to have some sort of way to sort the users. I haven't thoroughly thought this through, but I think this is going to be the system. You join the app or you log into the app, and the first thing that happens, a server-side function triggers that starts looking for, is there any available users? And if there aren't any available users, then you will be set to be queued. I think maybe if we run this again, user not available. Because it says user not available, which, what does this mean? User, okay, wait, run it again. Queued. All right, I'm not really sure because right now what is happening is the actual client side is not updated to work with the server side that I've now updated. So this client side is the old code and the server side is the new code, but I run the client side in order to set the user to be available. And then we use the server side to test if when they are available, can we find someone? Either way, this works. And that means that we can now start to test the next thing, which is going to be to actually match two users and to then update the client side to use these new functions and the new queue system and all that stuff, the API gateways, WebSockets, all that stuff that I've now added. Hopefully it will work, but we'll see. All right, good morning. It is right now 6:25 a.m. I've been sort of tossing and turning for a while, so I decided why not get up. And I think one of the reasons for it is that I'm very excited about where we're at with the app right now. Yesterday we got very close to matching two users via the server and like actually having the proper full functionality of a user downloading the app, creating an account, logging in, and then being matched automatically with another user, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited to see that whole process working. Now it seems like the server-side stuff works, and we've tested the server on the server. So now what we need to do is we need to basically rewrite the front end a little bit to make sure that it calls these new functions, which we're going to use Grok for, because Grok wrote the backend stuff. Okay, so here comes a bit of a test to see if this now works, because as you can see here, we're looking or finding a match. So now I've connected my phone and we're going to run it on my phone to see if, when we also have the phone running, will they be matched together, which should be the case. So we'll see. It's building and it says looking for a match. The question is, will they be matched at some point? It seems like it works. It's looking for a user, but sign in again. Exhausted heap space, trying to allocate 64 bytes. I'm not sure what that means. Out of memory. All right. It kept looking for a user, but it just didn't find anything. And I'm not sure why it didn't find anything. Node name or server name, no. Okay, it seems like it's just been running here in the back ever since yesterday. Let's see if we can cancel it and then run it again from the absolute start. But yeah, it seems like it's able to get put into the queue, I think, the user. So the user connects to the thing, starts looking for someone else to talk to, and what happens then on the server side is that the user gets put into a queue until we find a compatible user. But even though I was running it on 2 devices, we didn't actually find another user. So there was a user available, but we didn't find it. So I'm not sure what that means, but it seems like the actual connection to the backend works. So now we just need to figure out the backend to make sure that they actually do connect to users. Okay, finding a match, that's where we ended up yesterday. It was just looking for a match, didn't find anyone. So we can have a look at the logs. Okay, so this is now for request ID, join matchmaking connection. Okay, and let's run it on this app or on this phone to see if anything changes. So we can see that user F04 joins matchmaking here. Then we can see that user 608 joins matchmaking. And then we can see that they are in queued. And we can see that this one is in queued as well. But then nothing happens. It doesn't seem like anything else happens. I don't know if there's... Right now we're on the WebSocket handler function. So it could be that we need to go to the matchmaker function. We're going to paste this into Mr. Grok. And just to see if we do create a call. We did create a call. They are both available. They're both online. It seems like nothing updates here, which is a good thing, because that means that we just need to write the code to actually do that. It has been called several times here today. So let's see the latest one that was called. Okay, so here we have some sort of error. Okay, so we actually created a connection with man, and that's the profile picture. We have that connection here as well, but I haven't rerun the app because I don't want to do that yet. What I want to do is I want to just quickly change so that we have the UI looking the way that it should, which I hope that ChatGPT can do now, and I think it can. And now you can see we actually have a profile picture, man, but instead man should actually be up here and not down there. So we're gonna have to tell it that as well. This is kind of interesting because ChatGPT does a really good job of helping me fix the bigger issues, but Grok does a better job of actually understanding the code, if that makes sense, because Grok actually changed the name up here automatically to be waiting or to be whatever the name is supposed to be. But ChatGPT just keeps this name the same. It doesn't have the intuition, I guess. What would you even call that? Like in Sweden, we call it allmänbildning. It's like general knowledge to understand that, like, well, it probably shouldn't say Cal up there. It should probably say the name of the user that we want to connect to. But right now, ChatGPT just assumes that, well, he wants it to be Cal, so we'll keep it as Cal. All right, now it actually says man up there, which is a name, and we have the voice thing. We also have the profile picture blurred, And this is not the standard profile picture that we've seen before. It's actually a picture that I uploaded from my phone, which is quite cool. So now I'm going to try to press leave just to see that we can leave these things. And then we'll rerun it and see if this is going to work. But maybe it will work and we'll create a connection, but we'll see what happens. Right now, it just said, this is what ChatGPT created. Literally just a circular progress bar waiting until we actually get a connection, which doesn't look that good. And I feel like Grok would have done a better job of this, but either way, we're going to wait. I think there might be a problem with the fact that we have the matchmaking lock here, where we set a lock for the matchmaking. This lock isn't updated even when the user exits out of the app, which it should be. So what I had to do was I had to delete the users. So delete 2 items, yes. And then rerun the apps. Set the name to be woman, birth date, profile picture, flowers, gender, woman, wants a man, is in New York, next. Okay, we're not going to press finish yet. We're going to do the same thing here. Man, profile picture just to test it. Okay, and then we'll press finish at the same time. Joining matchmaking, we can see down here. Alright, I'm not entirely sure what's happening here, but we did get it to work just before. So we did actually connect 2 users, which is a major step in the right direction. This seems to be a bigger problem or bigger thing to solve than I thought it was going to be. But I'm very excited because like this, again, like it is so close to being like a functional app, which I think is so cool. But I don't really know what the problem is right now. I think there is a problem with the fact that we, with the matchmaking lock, I think is doing something right now. I also think there's some issue with creating a call in the call table, because when we go here, we can see that field caller ID cannot be set to null since it's a required field. So these things are an issue, I think. I really feel like I'm so close, but I'm not quite there yet. So, and I think at this point, like 3 hours in today, there's no use continuing. We're just gonna have to stop, come back the next day, and hopefully just solve it pretty easily, but we'll see. All right, welcome back. Let's continue because I'm very excited about where we're at. I have to run now, but we're still not really getting there. There's so many different issues and I'm trying to figure it out at the same time. Errors occur, but one issue that seems to happen is that when ChatGPT or when Grok tries to write Lambda functions that update the user, sometimes they don't include some of the necessary variables, like updated at. So there's variables for each entry in a table on Amazon, I think, called like created at and updated at, and those 2 variables are dates and they need to be set properly, but the way that we were setting it before didn't set the updated at properly, so there was an error when we were trying to update the record, which might have caused issues when retrieving or like doing the things with the actual function. So now that we've changed that, hopefully it will help us with the next steps. But I'm not really sure, to be honest. And today is one of those days where I've been consistent, but I haven't really gotten anywhere. I have to remember that like I can't actually see the progress isn't visible. I have still made progress because I've spent time today, so I have to kind of remind myself of that and be happy about that still. But I'm a little bit sad that we're not actually seeing a real result. I feel like it's so close, and all I want is just to have the satisfaction of seeing like, okay, I have 2 devices, they join the app and all of a sudden they get put into a call together. That's all that I want to see. And I know too that once I've achieved that, that's not even the biggest thing. That's just like one step, because the next thing that's going to happen is that there's probably going to be problems with multiple users connecting to the app at the same time and getting them all sorted in the right way. But the first step is just for 2 users to be able to connect, which is taking a while. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.